What's up, dudes and dudettes of the internet? My name's Seth, and today we're gonna be playing some Megabyte Punch. This game is really cool because of many reasons that will be explained in due time. But first and foremost, just while we're here on the title screen, I do want to mention that you can actually go into fight mode, and tournament is kind of like you fighting progressively harder and harder enemies, and versus is just multiplayer with friends. Because one of the things that's so cool about this game is that in the adventure mode, which we'll just start a new game right here, I don't care, delete my file, you can actually have 4 players local co-op through the adventure, which would definitely make this game a whole lot easier. Seriously, would love to be doing a video like this co-op with my brother, but he's so busy with work and stuff anyways. We could just jump right into it. Normally there's a little section here that kind of gives us a bit of story as to why we're doing what we're doing. Wake up, I am the Heartcore, your creator. Okay, you, my creation, are a Megak. I know it's supposed to be like a Mega C or a Mega, I guess it would be a Mega C, or it's a Megak. Like, that just sounds weird, doesn't it? So if you want to read the story, of course, you can just pause the video, but now that it's letting me skip all this, we will just get right into the nitty gritty because we kind of have to go through a little bit of a tutorial area. Everything's kind of standard. Whoa, what is with the frame rate issues? I gotta see this. Alright, that was a little bit strange. I guess this game doesn't really want to be recorded, but I just kind of stopped and started it, and now it's just going again. So there's just standard double jumps, breaking through blocks and everything like that, going down through platforms and stuff. Pretty much the quickest way that I could summarize this game is Smash Bros. You know, like Smash Bros on the, well, I guess it was just on the Wii, but there was the one that ended up having like the adventure mode where you could kind of like progress through the game and everything like that. That's pretty much what this game would be, is the entirety of that adventure mode. So that's really cool because, like, I love Smash Bros as much as the next guy, but I like playing as a team, you know? And this is where things actually get very interesting, is the customization is just, it's epic, man. Like, seriously, because right now they gave us a guaranteed part, which we can equip to our body and gives us a special technique, which we can associate to the 4 different directions or just pressing one of the buttons in general. Of course, I'm playing this with a keypad, but it functions very well with a controller, and this is the first ability they gave us, which is up and B. So that's the Star Fox dash, right? From like Smash Bros, for anybody that knows all the characters in that. Little bit, like, one thing that I would say that takes a little while for me is the combat is definitely a bit different, even though it does a very good imitation of Smash Bros and stuff like that. But the controls themselves, like the range of your character's attacks, are not necessarily as much, and I'm used to pressing like over and the attack button at the same time for charged attacks and things like that. So we ended up just getting a arm just before we left there. But if you end up leaving a level before you end up actually equipping it, it actually throws it back into your inventory. So this is kind of the town screen. You can explore a little bit, find a little bit of secrets and hidden treasures, which I think, if this is the house that I think it is, yeah. I'm going to show you this right here because you kind of like what we're picking up. The bits are just our money, of course, which you spend in the shop to end up getting different parts, not only for looks, but also for functionality. And this is kind of a secret area, and there's a secret in a secret, which is very Metroid style, or maybe even Zelda style, where you can go through secret walls and stuff like that. And one of the big collectibles that you can get is color. So if I can ever get out of here, I really hope that I can. Like, serious? Okay, there we go. Jeez Louise. All right, that was confusing. And you can wall jump as well, but your character kind of, one thing that I would complain about is that your character, like, if you just press in the opposite direction, he'll automatically wall climb, which, oh, looks like he's doing okay there. But in most cases, I'll wall jump when I don't actually want to. I'm just trying to get that point across. So anyway, this is our home. This is where everything is. Here's all of our parts, which we could end up just taking a look at them and downloading any parts of them. I guess we don't really have any right now. That's a little strange. But, oh, whoops, because I'm pressing the wrong button. Rip me. But we go into here, and then you can see a collection of all the different parts that you've gotten. Try to collect them all, right? And it's pretty cool, man. I like it. So we've got an exo arm right here, which is the same as ours, but it has added damage. So we're going to download that so that we can swap that on to our arms. We should actually, let's see, do we get a second one as well? Yeah, so that's the thing that I like about it, which is so cool, is because you can really customize your character. You can customize each individual leg, his hips, his chest, even in some cases something that goes over his shoulder. And right now we've just changed both of our arms, and as you unlock different colors, you can end up getting different colors for your character, which is really, really cool. And different builds, which I haven't gotten to that mechanic yet. And then you can kind of just check out your swag self over on this little jump pad here. So they just kind of give us a default color right there. And then there's another one just up ahead that I'll show you just before we continue and get into the first level. You could end up exploring all these houses and then you get lots of money and stuff like that. But I'm just going to show you the standard, you know, which is just your house. And then there's the shop right here. And the shop kind of randomizes what it has regularly. So you can see it actually has the exo arm, which we already have. We don't want that. And the shield engine arm, which is pretty standard. That's why it's going to be so cheap, because you probably are going to end up running into it anyways. And then there's this one, which is very important, gives us a little bit of a speed increase, and this one just increases our damage a little bit more. So we could end up getting those, getting any of those parts, and then going back to our house and kind of equipping ourselves. And see there, that right there, that's what I mean. When you're trying to go down and you accidentally wall jump, it just happens, you know? But very much like, even the graphics are very Sonic style. The game is very Mega Man, while also having a bit more of an exploration aspect, because you end up hopping into different levels. And as you can see right here, there's all of this dirt right here. This is kind of like the whole story, is we're trying to get to level 2 so that we can get some special abilities. This guy ended up mining a little bit incorrectly, and now there's all of these dirt blocks in front of us. So in order to get through them, we're gonna need to go to the first level and fight the first boss, who has a drill ability similar to Mega Man, and then you use that to progress forward. So it's got a very, very cool sense of progression towards it, you know? And then, of course, there's just these normal little scrub enemies that you can destroy very, very easily. I'm hoping I'm not gonna have any frame rate in the recording, but I'm having it right now just while I'm playing. And then you got just these normal enemies like this. Very similar to Smash Bros. As well. As the enemies get more and more damage, and as we get more and more damage and take more and more, have more and more percent on our damage. Damage is in the bottom left, shown by the little number indicator. But the enemies get thrown like further and further and further, so it's kind of like a test of courage. You gotta watch out for all of the stuff that's going on, you know? And it's kind of based on lives as well. You can see, like, in the bottom left, we do actually have 3 different lives based on the floppy drive, right? So that's always a funny little reference, you know, because floppy drives suck. But I guess that's where, I didn't play multiplayer, so I don't know if you get extra lives, but maybe that would be the trade-off, is that with extra people, you would probably have more deaths going on, right? The other thing, too, is if you end up collecting enough bits, I think if you collect 100 of them, it kind of works the same as, like, coins in Mario, where you actually end up getting 100 of them, and then you actually end up getting, like, an extra life for that level and the session. We actually push that enemy into the ring. And because of that, like, that's the thing that I think that's so cool. It's got extra men, but you get to spend the money on top of that, you know? And that's just that's so right. You know, like, I wish that the other Nintendo games like Mario and stuff would actually do that. That would be so neat, right? So another thing, too, that you can end up doing, except I'm not good at it, is juggle the enemies very, very well. Now, we could go into this door, which is going to end up taking everything out of our inventory for the next area, so we're actually going to blast a ball of energy, dealing 5 damage. That sounds like a plan to me. Then we've got the launches you upward. That's the same ability we already have. And then we've got the exo leg. So we're going to equip one of these, and it's going to give us a little bit of a speed boost, and you can see our character's leg actually ended up changing. We also ended up getting 2 of these arms, so don't mind if I do. I'm actually going to take both of them, and I'm curious to see whether or not... Yeah, he's actually attacking with both of them. That's so cool. So that means that we probably are doing 10 damage instead of just doing the initial 5, which, of course, we can still punch and everything like that. But as you saw... Ooh, bombs. This is where things get cool. Yeah. But you did see how we ended up, like, sacrificing our damage for the sake of having a ranged attack, which could end up working out for us. But of course, the fact of the matter is that you can only, like, shoot just straight in front of you like that. Wow, jeez Louise, that hurt us quite a bit, didn't it? I thought we were far enough. That was the only reason that I did it. But yeah, the ranged attacks is okay. Kind of gotta watch out for a little bit. The other thing too, I guess I should mention, I don't really do it that often because I didn't really do it that often in Smash Bros, is that you can always block as well, and the shield operates the exact same way as it does in Smash Bros, where you're gonna block and negate a certain amount of damage, and you know, eventually if you hold your guard up for too long, that's gonna break, and you don't want that. And then you can end up pressing the other button to do a pelvic thrust, which oddly enough destroys and breaks through a shield, which I guess it would because it's so cringe that it would just end up destroying anyone's morale, wouldn't it? I want to try it right now though, because you can still do it just as a basic attack, although it doesn't really do that much damage. Get out of here, you. Jeez Louise. And of course, as you see too, it's pretty neat that we can actually kind of destroy the environment a little bit as well. Just kind of as we're like hurting these enemies, and not to mention, like, that's why I really like these bombs and stuff like that, because you can use them strategically like that against your enemies as well, which is always a good thing. And this is kind of what I meant about juggling, where, oh man, just missed him. But otherwise, yeah, I'm kind of also a little bit rushing a little bit just so we can kind of get to the next area, and I want to show you all the boss, which is actually very, very tricky for me just because I'm still kind of learning the controls. We did end up getting a bunch of different parts though, right? Yeah, we got this other exo arm, which I think is just the one that we had 2 seconds ago, but we're gonna take that because more punching damage is a little bit more important than having a ranged attack, at least this ranged attack anyways. And throughout these levels too, like, you can kind of like explore the level in different routes and everything. I don't know if it's random generated, because in all honesty, there's just so many different directions that I'm overwhelmed with that I just never bothered to learn whether or not, you know, like play through an area like 50 times to see whether or not it was actually something different. But it's pretty cool, the fact that it kind of rewards you for going in different directions. And I don't know, oh, we got Scyther now, huh? I don't know whether or not you can actually find colors on the levels. I think it's more that you find them just kind of out exploring the wilderness and stuff like that. Can we actually dash left and right? No, we can't. And then I think he just gave us the standard head. No, he gave us a new one, which gives us more damage. So now we're looking a little bit better. This one increases the life of your shield to withstand a little bit more attack, which is always good. That's fine, you know, because not like I ended up using the shield very well. So we've got this one last area. This is stage 3 of level 1. I know that's kind of weird to say, but I'm pretty sure once we end up getting through this level, of course technically you could end up speed running it, but then of course you're gonna end up having less bits. Okay, so look at this. Okay, so it's not random generated, because I remember going through this exact same part of the level. So there's just different routes that can end up getting you to the end, and sometimes they kind of converge on the same entrance as, you know, another way, but generally speaking, it's not really, like, you don't really need to worry too much about it. So we're almost dead here, because, see, that's what I mean, like, about the controls being a little bit sticky, because you can't really control your direction as well, which is still fine for an indie game. Like, seriously, this game is absolutely awesome, and I love it. It's just a little, I'm having a little bit of a hard time, because I think that's what's going on, is I'm going into this game as Smash Bros when it's not Smash Bros, you know? Oh, cool, so we got the shield arm. I want to show you all this one, because this one's actually pretty neat. So let's swap that out for our laser cannon one and swap that to our down ability. Doesn't actually give us a little bit more defense or anything like that. This, of course, is just a helmet just for looks, but it ends up giving us that, which I think is so cool, that we can actually create blocks. You can break through them, use it to block off enemies and stuff like that. Also, the game says that you could use it as a boost, but in all honesty, I've never seen a situation where I've actually needed like a 3-height jump or anything like that, you know? Can we actually get up there? Oh, well, you know what? 3-height jump, right? All right, well, speaking of which, I guess it's not as useless as I thought it was. Of course, if you end up having like better abilities and stuff like that, you could end up traversing the environment a little bit better. And also, if you're just better at this game than I am, which, I mean, I kind of suck at these games, even though I enjoy it, you know? But either way, it's so cool, man. I love the amount of customization. And let's not forget, you could end up playing this with some friends. As far as I know, I'm pretty sure it's only local. I don't think it's online. Maybe that'll be a feature in the future. But either way, this is the big ugly drill guy, which I'm probably gonna get my butt kicked because he's a little bit tough, especially for a first boss, and he's kind of, I guess, showing us the ropes. But man, like, see, that's the thing is, the enemies, like this guy, you can see, he's faster than us. So we can't get him in a continual combo as much as he can get us into a continual combo, you know? And that's the thing too, is you can kind of see in the bottom middle of the screen that he has 2 lives. So we gotta defeat this guy actually a couple times, similar to old Smash Bros games and stuff like that. But the thing that's so cool about it is, similar to Mega Man, now we're actually getting his ability permanently. So we can end up using the drill attack that he's actually been using on us. Yeah, I don't think that'll end up helping. We can use the drill attack that he's using on us with our character, which is just so neat, isn't it? You know, like, I absolutely love it. Oh my goodness, you jerk. Yeah. See if you can get past the wall there. Oh, that ended up working out for us. And then we can still juggle them in the air. Yeah, very effectively. GG, give me that drill part. I'll show you all what this actually looks like before we call it a day. But it conveniently warps us back to our house too, which is always nice. Whoops, I always press the wrong button. Always press the wrong button. So let's give ourselves, where is that drill ability? There you go, drill arm. Give me that. Let's swap it out for our punch ability, just because it'll look kind of cool. And let's actually do that with our over move. So now we can actually use this in all directions. Speaking of which, we should probably just swap this to our basic attack, because then we can just kind of press it and then move in the direction afterwards. So it's a little bit kind of clutch with its controls, you know, because things end up moving like so quickly. Because otherwise, like, it's like we can't use our drill by pressing any direction. We have to hold still, press B, and then kind of choose the direction very, very quick, which can be difficult while using a controller. But a keyboard, I mean, you'd be right at home, you know? So you can see, like, look at that, that's just so cool. And now we would be going into stage 2, but we're already on like 18 minutes right now, so we're gonna call it here. Thanks so much for watching, everybody. Links are in the description for everything else, as well as a whole bunch of other info that I probably ended up missing. I would very much appreciate if you would have duke in the like button for me. It helps me out more than you know. Sayonara and stay epic.